Hey guys, it's Kim here and welcome to a very special Ask Kim. I'm joined by, I don't know, the most important VIP ever, my mother.
Hi there! Kim's Tiger Mum here.
Tiger Mum, I don't know if you want that label. So yeah, it's taken a lot of bribery and begging and constant asking, but Mum has decided to answer your questions.
Yeah!
So without further ado, let's get underway. So from Lone Wolf C, sorry if I got your name wrong there. Did you ever think your daughter might be doing anything along the lines of gaming and gaming journalism for a living? If not, what would you have imagined her doing in order to earn money?
I knew that she liked playing games when she was a child, but I never thought that she would take it to this level. As for...
Yeah, what do you think I would be though?
We never really, both her father and I never really thought of what we wanted you to be.
Yeah.
My only thought was, I wanted you to be happy.
Aww.
In whatever you do.
So you weren't ever like, oh, I want a banker or a doctor or whatever as a child?
No, as a friend of mine used to say when you were a child, Kim always marches to her own drum beat. So we never tried to put you in a box and say what you must do.
Yeah. Because some people might say like their opinion of Chinese families or Southeast Asian families is they're a bit, like you say, Tiger Mom, and they kind of try, you know, you really need to go into the traditional careers like doctor, lawyer, banker, whatever. But I never felt that from you guys. Like you wanted to...
I think your father reined me up. Your father reined me in a long time ago when I was pushing you to do well in maths, and he took me aside and said, let's face it this way, Kim's never going to be an astrophysicist or nuclear scientist, so just let her be. And I took this on board and have relaxed a bit where you know your schooling and what you do is concerned.
So what did you think when I started going in games journal? Because I sent a lot of letters out. I was trying to get work experience. I was trying to do all that. What did you think when I started doing that and eventually got that first job at Future Publishing? What did you think?
Didn't really have much thought along that line, except that you obviously knew what you were going to do, and the only thing I could do was encourage you to go on with it.
Aww. So next question from Lloydan. When did Kim first start showing signs of being a budding gamer / wrestling enthusiast? Were you ever worried about it? It's actually you and Dad's fault that I was into games.
Yes, I remember we were just moved to Caracas, Venezuela, and your dad used to have a lot of trips to Houston on business, and he came back with the original Game Boy, the one in black and white, you know? And you were quite keen on it, and I think that's kick-started.
Yeah. So it is your fault, basically.
Yes, probably.
Because then you bought me the Super Nintendo for Christmas.
That was years later.
Yeah. Because we were in Colombia then. Mm-hmm. And remember I used to play Mario Kart all the time. Mm-hmm. And then...
It wasn't as bad as now. I mean, you used to play with it, but not like totally involved in it now. And it's difficult to drag you away from the games sometimes.
Well, it is my job now. This person, every time she sees me playing a game, she's like, what are you doing playing games? Why aren't you working? I'm like, Mum, after 8 years in the games industry, I thought you would figured out by now that, like, this is my job. This is how I get my money.
Well, I suppose so.
What about the wrestling thing?
Yes, I was a bit bemused by that as well.
Because I started watching that when we moved back to Milton Keynes, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mind you, I did start watching it myself as well before you were on the scene.
Really?
Yeah.
When?
Oh, you know.
Back in
Your mother was young once upon a time.
And what did you think of it?
It was fun, but then it got a bit fake to me, and I thought, nah, there's so much you can watch.
Not for you. Did you ever watch any with me?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. Do you remember when we tried to get tickets, when they came to Sheffield and we tried to get tickets and we couldn't get tickets?
Yes, but also one of your friends' father had to book a table.
Yeah.
And was taking 10 of you kids there to watch a live wrestling match.
But we didn't go.
You didn't go for something. For some reason, something fell through.
Yeah.
And Hansa's son, Prashant, was going to go with you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then through the job that I'm in now, I've managed to go and do all this stuff for free. So
you get to meet the people as well. Only I never did.
Can you imagine taking you to meet The Rock? And
I don't know. I think they'd be quite, pleased.
Taken aback.
Mama coming along.
Terrified. Next up from Vamprat. Do you watch Kim's videos? If you do, what's your opinion on them?
I did in the very beginning, but I think most of the time when it's about games, I really don't understand. So
you watched all my vlogs when I went to Japan.
Yes, I still watch your vlogs, but when it's to do with gaming,
it's a bit
well, it's technical for me.
Do you remember when I first started writing on Official PlayStation 2 magazine, and I used to send you an issue every month,
and your father and I would faithfully read all about it, take it back to Malaysia for your uncles, for your auntie, and none of us could understand what you're talking about.
And then you very quietly, after a few months, you said, can you stop sending me these magazines? Do we have to keep reading them? Because I don't understand them. So I thought that was hilarious.
But we were so proud in your first issue where your name appeared, whoa, that's my kid,
You watched the Sigourney Weaver interview though, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I still think that's insane.
I still go in occasionally and watch your interviews and vlogs.
The rare ones that there are. Just mainly so you can see keep tabs on me.
Right, just like on Facebook.
Yeah. She's friends with me on Facebook. Felonak, how does it feel to know that Kim is an inspiration to so many people, and because of Kim, people from all over the world have become friends? I find this question weird. I didn't want to put this question in. For the record, I did not want to put this question in because I felt a bit, big-headed. But you wanted to answer this one.
Well, this is the chance to let everybody, especially how proud we are of you.
Mom! You're embarrassing me!
Well, and the fact that, you could get so many young people around the world to come together, it's not a mean achievement. Especially nowadays, the youngsters have so many distractions and many are going wrong. But this is to actually come in, have a fun thing, nice, decent play. That's good.
But I find it weird. So when people say things like this, so this is on my subreddit, which is like a forum for everyone to come together and talk about the stuff that I do. And when I see messages like this, I feel really weird because to me, I just make dumb videos and they're silly and they're stupid. And I don't really understand how... When I see messages like this, or I see messages quite often I get messages from parents saying, oh, my daughter is being bullied or my son is being bullied, but your videos make them happy and feel stronger. And, I often write letters to these people saying, you're awesome, don't listen to your bullies, that kind of thing. And it feels weird to me especially because I was bullied when I was younger, to be asked, I feel like I've grown up now, people are asking me, how did you deal with it and how can I cope with this and stuff like that. And I find it really strange and really humbling because I'm just me and I don't see this whole audience side of things. So
I think it's because you are not sort of conscious of it. Your sincerity goes through and it touches people.
Yeah, I guess.
If it has been just a word lip service, people can see through you.
Yeah. I think that's the thing about YouTube, though, and why people, like bedroom gamers and stuff like that are rising, because they are genuine, normal people who aren't talking through PR or pre-prepared speeches and something like that. And I think that does touch a nerve with people. But yeah. Moving on to the next question before I start crying here. Treya7, what are you most proud of, Mum, as far as your own accomplishments, and what accomplishments are you proud of me achieving?
Oh, dear me.
So your accomplishments here. I think you've got a lot.
Yes, let's...
Yeah, we could be here all day.
We could be here all day, a few centuries, And the fact that, my family, my siblings and I are a very tightly knit family.
Yeah.
We've lost our parents. And the fact that also Kimberly has grown into a daughter one is proud of. And she's planning to look after me in my old age.
Yeah, so this is all going into Mum's retirement fund.
And then depend on her in future.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah.
This is a very Chinese trait.
Like looking after your elders.
Yeah, which is why now we're living with her.
Yeah, that's great. But that's the thing, is I said, will you do this video with me? And she went, do I have to? And I went, well, it would make a lot of money for your retirement fund. So I look after you. So yeah, she's like, yeah, sure. But I think in terms of achievements, for me, thinking about you, is that you came over from Malaysia to the UK quite young, isn't it? Or, well, okay. Well, you came...
in my early 20s.
That's quite
Very
young.
early 20s.
That's young. That's young. But you left your family behind and you came over to a completely different country, completely different culture. You didn't have much money. And the money that you earned, you sent home to Malaysia to help support the family, your brothers, your sisters, your parents. And every time you tell me about that, or like uncle mention that, it like... I think that's just amazing. Like, how strong you must have been to go through that.
Well, it's a thing that one just does, you know. And you don't think about it too much about it. It needs to be done, so we do it.
Yeah. From the Geordie Jake, how many countries have you lived in and which was your favourite?
Shall we start? Well, obviously I'm from Malaysia, then I came to England and actually lived in Norway, Shanghai, Venezuela, Colombia. Scotland is another country.
Abu Dhabi.
Oh yes, Abu Dhabi. Yeah, had 4 years there. Had great fun there.
Where else?
And that's it. But
you've travelled.
But travelling to countries is quite a lot more.
Yeah, you've done quite a lot. So what's your favourite? Where was your favourite?
I like Shanghai very much.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
Yes, and I mean, it's a totally different world over there. Lots of food, of course. Lots of shopping.
Yeah.
And being a base, it was a base for us to travel around China, and we did get to see a lot of China, which was brilliant. Even went back to the province where my father came from.
Yeah.
Although, of course, all his relatives are no longer there, which is quite sad, but it's good to be
I definitely remember when you were out in Shanghai, you were always out and doing stuff and, you know, out in the evenings and crazy social life. So yeah, I think that definitely, that was certainly my answer for you when I thought about this. So from YC Meg, what was it like travelling and living in different countries?
It was fun. I think from the time I left Malaysia years and years ago, don't even go there. I've never stopped traveling.
Yeah.
And it was always going to go to a different place, meet different people, setting up homes. It was great. I loved it. And I love different types of food and trying to speak the languages from, you know.
Yeah, because you speak a crazy amount of languages.
Not really, just pick up bits and pieces.
Well, just
I could deliver babies in, you know, Arabic.
Well, just like your Southeast Asian languages, you speak so many dialects of Chinese and Malay and Arabic and all that. It's like, it's crazy. Norwegian.
When you ask for salmon fish head, you know, from the fisherman, you can do that in Norwegian, no problem.
Yeah. And I think the thing I liked about travelling was culture, was learning a different country's culture, not just in the sense of the big obvious things, but just the little everyday things, like, I don't know, how people greet each other, or how in like Colombia, when you set a time for a dinner party or something like that, Colombians always turn up like 2 hours late.
Minimum.
Yeah, just funny things like that.
Yes, I remember where obviously your father worked in an international company, and when we have official dues starting at 8 o'clock, you'd be there, and all you do is just drink. And then by 10 o'clock, everybody's really, really quite merry, and then only you start
start the
fed.
food,
Yes. Those were the days.
Oh my God. So on the same kind of thought, Dunkleberry asks, what was it like travelling the world with a young daughter? Was it difficult moving Kim through schools, etc.?
No, Kimberly was a very good traveller and still is. I first took her home to Malaysia when she was 3 months old.
Yeah.
On my own.
Yeah.
And she took a long time to settle down, but once she did, there was no problem. And then obviously I brought you back when you were 8 months old, and then we went off to Norway when you were 1 year old, and we never stopped traveling. And you've never been a problem on planes, and especially on Malaysian Airlines, it was brilliant, because as soon as you go on board, the stewardess would just cart you off and entertain you, and I had quite a peaceful trip.
What about like settling in a new country? Were you ever like worried, like, can we have a family life here, you know?
I don't think so, because so long as we were together, we were fine. And when we first took you out of school, you were 7 and you went to the British school in Caracas.
Yeah.
But, you know, the education there was pretty good. And we did bring a lot of, school work from UK.
Yeah.
So that you were kept up with the syllabus and all that. In fact, you surpassed it.
From T Conks, if money wasn't a thing, where would you love to travel to in the world?
I think my next visit will probably be to Japan.
Yeah?
Yes, I love the food, sushi, sashimi. Yeah.
Yeah, and you were pretty jealous every time I went.
Yes.
I just remember you were so jealous when I booked the trip 2 years ago. You were sat with me, and you kind of had green eyes.
Yeah.
And your sister's gone as well. So. Yeah.
And the other place I would like to do is down to the South Pole.
Why? You hate the cold.
The animals, the wildlife. Fantastic. Well, we did go to North Cape, if you remember, for the
Northern Lights.
The Northern Lights.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant. And you don't get cold if you got the right gear. In England, you get cold because the weather is damp and miserable. But in those countries, the sun's shining, it's cold, you wrap yourself up with the proper gear, it's fine.
Wow, I would not have expected you to say, like, the coldest place on earth.
It's so different,
I guess, yeah. Just completely different landscape.
And I've run out of places to go to anyway.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's right.